What's up, guys? Welcome to the first week of training in 2017. Also, like I mentioned in the last video pretty briefly, I am actually working with Steve Goggins for my programming this year. We'll most likely spend at least the next 6 months working with him, but I just want to take the opportunity to learn as much as I can from somebody that I really respect in the sport, and also just have the opportunity to not be able to manage my own training. As much as I'd like to say that I know everything, it's nice to be able to outsource some of the thinking for my own training and just be able to do what I'm told for a little while. So what you're seeing here is my first time back to squatting raw in quite a while. I spent the last 2 months in briefs, and then I didn't squat for a portion of last year as well, just because of the hip rotation issues that I was having. And while most of those had cleared up, I ended up having a little bit of an issue today. I think we ended up just pushing a little bit too heavy too soon. I also went to a driving range for some reason the day before this squat session, and I think I twisted myself up a little bit. So while everything was moving pretty smoothly, and I actually am pretty happy with how my my squat groove feels, considering I haven't raw squatted in quite a while. True to form, all the brief work that I had done did not change my squat at all. In fact, it actually made it a good deal better. But I did have some weight shifting on this set here. This is supposed to be my final warm-up at 385. Just done in a really light set of knee wraps. And a couple reps in, things just started to get a little bit twisty, and I felt that same familiar kind of pulling feeling in my left glute. Ended up talking to Steve, and he said to just shut it down for the day. So a little bit of mobility work throughout the week. I think we're going to just take a little bit different approach next week and kind of ease into my squat training just a little bit slower than we had planned. The second day here is just a light bench day. I actually didn't get a chance to film most of the main set, so there's just this last one here with about 230 doing a pause 5x5. One of the main differences with what we're doing versus what I've been doing and spent most of 2016 doing is going back down to just once a week frequency on all of the main lifts. There's one primary squat, bench, and deadlift day, and then this is a secondary just light pause bench day. All 5x5s with the Duffalo bar at 230. Then some just prehab work with band pull aparts and some dumbbell rotator cuff cleans. And I gotta tell you, it's definitely different, especially since I had spent most of last year kind of building up the frequency, kind of going back to the once a week roots, if you will, that I started out with. It's kind of nice. It's a nice change. It's just a weekend, but I feel like I'm recovering pretty well, and that's kind of the point. And I think that one of the things that was going on last year is that as I was fighting through those rotational issues and that kind of pelvic tilt on the one side of my hips, the higher frequency squatting just sped up the rate at which I was having those issues. So I think just staying with once a week on each of the lifts is definitely a good call, especially as I'm just kind of allowing everything to heal and build back up. So hopefully this ends up being a good formula for me to actually work back up to doing some good numbers this year and competing at some point. Although that's still a secondary priority, I do want to get healthy first and get rid of all of these issues altogether. So on the deadlift day here, I worked 3 sets of 5 with a nice controlled touch and go with 405. I was having a little bit of tweakage in through that left glute, but it didn't kick in until the last rep or 2 of each of the sets, and it wasn't painful, and it wasn't anything that indicated that I should shut it down for the day. After that, did rack pulls from just above the kneecaps. This is the first heavy-ish set at 500 for a triple, and then I did 2 triples at 550 here, and followed with shrugs. Did 4 sets of 15 with 405, and then some chest-supported rows and some just neutral grip lat pull-downs to hit the upper back. All of these felt pretty good. One of the things that I may play around with next week is actually bringing my stance out just a little bit. I'm kind of readjusting to my new leverages now that my body weight is hanging closer to 270 pretty consistently, so I'm thinking I might need to bring my feet out just a little bit. On the main bench day, sorry if this one's a little bit grainy here, I worked 3 sets of 8 at 305 touch and go, followed by some dumbbell incline work, did I believe 3 sets of 10 with the 95s, some overhead press, and then just some light isolation work for front and side delts, as well as some face pulls and more of the rotator cuff cleans. And this was definitely not an easy workout, although on paper it looked like not that much work, but I can definitely tell that switching back to stacking all of the pressing volume into one workout rather than splitting it up into 3 over the course of the week, I'm just not as conditioned for it. So this went pretty well. Everything moved relatively smoothly, and should set me up for a good start to this training cycle as far as the bench press is concerned. So that is it. I'll be sure to kind of keep posting updates as everything continues to progress. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please like it and subscribe to my channel. If you haven't done so already, connect with me on Facebook and Instagram. And as always, be sure to check out the gym's website at www.savagegym.com.